Hi, this is Muthusangram again. Session 5, Business Incubation. We'll be taking a look at marketing. This is part 1 and part 2 will follow shortly. As always, we like you to take 30 seconds to jot down what would you like to accomplish at the end of the session. So I'm going to keep quiet for 30 seconds. Okay, let's continue. Marketing is a process where you bring goods and services to the market. Similarly, an incubator has to do that. It has to focus on and determine the customer's need. It has to identify the services and goods to be fostered. It has to streamline its product and services as its client, the incubator, requires. Aim should be to bring customer satisfaction. An incubator is just like running another organization, company, startup. So it is important that we focus on marketing. Incubator has three phases. The first phase would be the foundation phase. The next phase is the development phase. And then finally the incubator gets into the mature phase. During the foundation phase, you will depend mostly on your revenues, grants from your local government, bodies, the host institution, private, public sponsorship. You look at NGOs, governments, agencies, universities, banks to sponsor you to run your incubator. That would be your first stage. Then you'll move on to a development stage. Here you would be looking to retain your customers, which are your initial incubators. These incubators are the new customers to your incubator in this phase. And then the number of incubators must start increasing, and they should also be able to fulfill the expectation of the granting body, the sponsor. So you need to start producing results. The incubators should be potential to achieve what the incubator has set out to do. So this is where you start bringing in income through your customers. Next stage is when you are pretty much mature. First thing you look at is your customers, which is the tenants, the incubators. You may look at off-site incubators who pay for services you offer. You look at organizations who would contract the incubator for delivery service and programs. The incubator's perception in this phase is driven by performance. It should focus on effectively in achieving its mission of the incubator. At this stage, the incubator should be able to self-sustain. Now, what are the additional stakeholders? Besides your paying customers, you have those who are non-cash value to the incubator, like lawyers, company secretaries, accountants. They're all additional stakeholders. Faculty, the main institution management, and so on. They might not contribute financially, but you need them in your extended network to ensure your support to your incubators are there so you run a successful operation. Support from the additional stakeholders. It could be in terms of supporting operations to your incubator. They could help you find staff who would actually start working for you, working in the incubator. They can perform and process your promotional material to other stakeholders and customers. Delivery support to the incubator, companies through mentoring, coaching, training, and services. This is what the additional stakeholder will do. They will provide you all the essentials which you need from outside. How do you evaluate your customer requirement? First, you need to look at significantly to access the customer's need and to determine the steps to meet them. How will you actually fulfill your customer's requirements? Next, needs of the incubators are complex, which includes business planning for it to be successful, and each of your client or incubatees will require different support. So you got to be able to step up to that. The outcome to the customer need should benefit both the people who grant you the funding, sponsors in the incubator. The other stakeholders are less complex, but you still need to make sure that you are able to support your mentors, your accountants, your secretaries, that they have an interest to keep coming back because there's enough business coming out of the incubator. Now, how do you retain and gain your customers? Incubator should be attractive to the customer's expectation, which means you have to be attentive to what the incubator requires. And then you got to make sure you're giving these supports, gaining additional customers for financial support. So as you keep on giving good services, you will start building your incubator. You need to attract additional sponsors, could be government, could be companies, could even be one of the startups who have graduated from your incubator who wants to give something back. You should be involved in transforming the sponsors to customers for the incubator. So maybe your sponsors can actually become customers to your incubators. Incubators should also find and gain potential incubators to the incubator. So it should be an ongoing process all the time looking for incubators. Now, segmentation of potential incubatees, very crucial. You got to decide who will be the key players who will make your incubator successful. Your incubators, your potential incubator should be able to reflect on the mission of your incubator. So that's very important how you pick them. Incubator has to be associated with the incubators based on its mission of the incubator. It could be technology based, it could be university based, it could be manufacturing, industry, biosciences, medical devices, whatever. So you've got to see whether you are segmented or you're going to be a generic incubator. So it's important to segment the potential incubators for economic development of the incubator. Now, next thing you need to look at is incubator's criteria for associating with you. How will you select them? How will you bring them into it? So this will depend on the service and products proposed by the incubators. Should be technology based if you're a technology incubator. Should be agriculture based if you're an agriculture. Incubators require to demonstrate a business plan with high quality and detail for admission. So you get a good understanding how serious, how viable the business is of the incubator coming into you. The incubator needs to prove its financially ability to pay the incubator for its participation, need to raise confidence to the incubator for its business plan accomplishment, inclined to engage and connect with the university in various ways. So this would give them lots and lots of guidance in terms of technology, in terms of equipment, all that would help them. Now, sponsors. What do the sponsors do? They sometimes provide seed investment to help to establish, to launch an incubator's business model. So they would help you, give you seed fund. Sponsors may also be willing to fund the incubator perpetually. So somebody might have an interest in biosciences. They might say, okay, as long as you are bringing in 20, 30 companies every year into the stream of things, we will continue to fund. So a lot of corporates do that. And you provide no cost for illicit incubators by the sponsors. This acts as a source of cash flow to the incubator if the facilities are managed well. Sponsors may be converted from investors to contractors of the incubator service. Programs may include career training, economic development, network management. Sponsors can provide a whole lot of services to gain back what money they plow into the system. Now, pricing strategy is very important. The most common strategy pricing is to charge as per market rates defined by other similar providers. The next is to provide with less market initially and then keep accelerating the price as you keep going. This makes financial burden on the incubator less, and as they grow older and mature, they're able to pick up. As you keep on increasing the rate, this would encourage them to leave, graduate, so you can start bringing in new members. Then you can still run a fee-based membership for them to come back, use your services, network, talk to other providers, and so on. Getting equity in incubator business is one of the pricing strategy for non-profit incubators. They might just take a stake. So in time, the stake will then convert to hopefully cash. Now, financial contribution by incubators. Incubators are determined to function as a business. They should be able to pay a reasonable price to the incubator service offered. Therefore, you need to price it in such a way that they are able to take your services, expected to pay for operational costs of their own. They should not be coming there for a free ride. They should be willing to pay. Incubators will help incubators in finding seed investors. So these seed investors will help you get started and also to manage resources in the initial stages. Paying to the services proves that incubators are potential and viable for their business to grow. Now, marketing objective of the incubator. First, you need to be able to provide suitable services and product. Second, the pricing must be good. If the pricing is not well structured, no one is going to use your service. Very important, location. You must be in the right location where incubators find it comfortable to come. Things like cafeteria, parking, meeting rooms, and all this should be in position. Then you need to do promotion to make your objectives go out there. You need to utilize right people for delivery. You need to use the right people to work with you for delivery. You need to bring in appropriate processes. You need to support the brand through all forms of physical testimony. This is important for marketing objectives of your little incubator. And then, how do you deliver services and products? This is done fulfill the need of the target market. You are only doing this if the market takes it well. So it's very, very important. Products and services should be a multi-dimension. So you need to work through that. It may support the economic growth for the government funders. So they would also be happy to continue funding you because you're creating economic um, activities within that area, which will in turn create jobs, bring down poverty. It will help people. So that's what the government's purpose is, to fund incubators. And you need to give financial guidance and support facilities for your incubators so they understand what they're doing. The process adapted for incubation should influence them towards bringing in a product or service. Now, pricing of the product or service, you can only define the price, the value of the incubator. If the incubator brings great value, you can charge higher. If the incubator doesn't bring value, no one is going to be willing to pay you. Entrepreneurs make the purchase at a given price, identifying the need and value. If those are not there, they will not pay for these services. And then we go on to see your product prices should meet the requirement of the client and not only an operation needs of the incubator. So it should not be one way, it should be both ways. The incubator benefits, the incubating benefits. Incubator provides value to the sponsors by offering them programs, services which supports their objective, like described earlier. An organization might say, I'm interested in biosciences. You then promote biosciences within the incubator, so they are getting value because new ideas and companies are coming from bioscience area. Now, how would the services and products you face? The first one is buy loans. Secondly, you can take a royalty payment. Third one is equity, and it can be exchange of trade. They can do something, you can do something for them. Otherwise, a combination of all these things. Now, location of the incubator is very important. The appearance, how you're going to target, who you're targeting. So it has to be designed such a way. Significant to identify the market before setting up the incubator. You need to ensure that area, the place you're putting the incubator is going to get incubators. Very, very important. Next, the facilities provided by the incubator should fulfill the incubatee's purpose. It has to follow what incubator is trying to give. It has to fulfill its purpose. It's important to be located where the incubator can serve the target audience. Incubation can also function virtually as communication and information tools flourish. Today, they can be virtual and can still support several other startups. Now, how do you promote your incubator? Obviously, first thing is by networking, telling everybody. Next is internet. Then you have testimonies. Use telecommunication. You go to conferences, publications, public relations. These are some of the activities you can do to improve your incubator. So how would you do networking? Attend other functions, potential incubators, and build extensive network. Networks can be done on a routine basis by reaching the members of the network via direct mailing or mail calls, through sponsored network events by incubator, by performing incubator tours. So you start building your incubator network. Promotion through internet. You have a nice appealing website so people can go there, get information. Have a blog, do a discussion so they would know what to do. Today, social media can easily reach thousands and thousands of people. You can do email campaigns. So it's today not very expensive to do any of these things. Now, the people in the incubator are very crucial. You need to ensure the right people are in the incubator. You select the right people to be working in the incubator. And the mandate and its clients need. So whoever you select to work in the incubator, they should be able to work and deliver to your clients and their needs. Incubator staff should possess leadership, commitment, soft skill to work with entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs are all the time under stress and they can be difficult to deal with. So we need to have soft skills to be able to work with these entrepreneurs. Another significant aspect is the selection of incubator clients. So your team will need to ensure they select good incubators. Of course, we're not going to get 100%, but at least we should target to get close to as many good incubatees as we can get, because things change. Today a good incubatee could become a bad incubatee tomorrow. A bad incubatee today could become a good incubatee tomorrow. So it is difficult to say. So we need to make sure we stay balanced. Incubator should evaluate both the business plan and the people to run successful operation. So the people who are in the incubator will have to also think it's a day-to-day activity. It is a business. It is a startup. Similar. So they need to work on all these things. Now, incubator processes. First important is to determine the effective internal incubator activities. What are these effective activities within the incubator? And then you need to ensure there's enough capacity to potentially support your potential clients. And then if your client should be swift and responsive, then you know what to do. So you have to continuously monitor your clients within the incubator to ensure your products, your services are up to date, up to mark is something your clients, the incubators, want. Now, identifying and connecting with organizations who serve similar clients. You don't need to look at them as competitors. They can be your complementors. So it will help you to grow. You can approach them. You may not have a piece of equipment. They might have a piece of equipment which your incubators can use, vice versa. It's important to identify and connect the organizations who serve similar clients. We should not look at them as competitors. It is a big enough game. So we should do as much as we can be carried out by consultation with sponsors and directors of incubators who can facilitate this interaction between different organizations who are doing the same things. This can be achieved through business leaders and service providers who would know who are the people out there. So it is absolutely crucial for you to not look at your competition as competition, but potentially as your complementer. Now, database management is very, very important. It's good to keep all your records inside your system. So when you're running a program, when you need to reach out, you can easily, in today's world, use email to reach out when you're running a program. So you'll be able to get what is required for your activities. It also helps you to maintain structure, manage your incubators, manage your clients, outside incubation, and whatever you're doing, it will give you a great idea of what's happening. So a database management is absolutely crucial. Now, steps in converting competitors into complementers, as we spoke earlier. First, you need to determine top priority of your incubators. Then you go out and look what services are offered by the segment. They might be offering services you don't offer, so you can go and piggyback on them. And then assigning how this complementary organization provides service to their incubators. So you need to find that out too. Then you facilitate this by helping your incubators. And then you can start doing collaboration. You assist complementers in providing them services in return. So this is another great way of doing things. Now, initial marketing strategy of your incubator should be quick to get the numbers you're looking for. If you're looking for 20 startups, you got to get out there and get them within the first year or whatever timeline you set. Very important to get them in quickly. You need this target audience are startups, SMEs, and building entrepreneurs at a fast rate. That's what you need to do. Should be able to improve the awareness of the mission of the incubator. So you got to keep talking about it, maybe promoting it, very, very important, in a wide range of value-added services. You got to enhance employment through promoting entrepreneurship. So you got to strive home that entrepreneurship creates employment. Now, proactive execution of marketing plan. What are the things you can do? You need to constantly be running marketing campaigns, attend events by stakeholders to represent the incubator so people know you exist. Promotion activities after the events to expose incubator action and services. So if you run an event today, put it out on social media. How many people came? What was it about? What was the outcome? So other potential customers can look at this. Organize national and local events so you can promote your little incubator. You got to manage effectively and update your website. It's very, very important. And you have to constantly increase your alliance with partners and stakeholders. How do you market and position your incubator? Your incubator should describe its own model for branding. So branding is very important. Will allow the population to identify the incubator and its objectives. Incubator activities will be acknowledged throughout the incubator brand. So branding is crucial. You got to work on it so the population understands what can be achieved by going to your incubator. Brand will allow the client to reach the incubator for business and services. So it's absolutely, absolutely important. Now, incubator objective. First of all, you have to establish a mission for your incubator and you set priority goals. And then you position the incubator, get out there with skills, knowledge to bring in your clients and get your incubator running. Now, marketing activities for incubator. First, you need to do a market analysis. Then you come up with a marketing plan. Then you try and evaluate and observe the promotional actions. Then you might need to do some public relations, advertising. You need to do brand building. And how do you make this into an application? So you might have a mobile app, so on, to promote yourselves. You need to broadcast the new services and products you have. That's why the database we talked about is important. Now, branding objective of the incubator. It should be effective application of branding channels and instrumentation for internal and external communication. That's what the branding is for. Increasing awareness to stakeholders as established business service provider, perform efficiency outreach activities and public relationship with minimum resources. So this is what your branding objective should be. Now, tools for branding. Of course, we talked about website. You need to have a nice website. You need a database to what we talked about. You should start an internal and external newsletter. You should have strategic events and conferences, publications, press releases, personal meetings and promotion to get that branding for your incubator. Now, what is next? As always, you got to identify your key takeaway from this lecture. How does it relate to you and what you are going to share? Today we've done part 1 of marketing. We will do part 2 shortly. So you will need to do this as always. And we acknowledge that we have taken some references from InfoDev Business Incubation Toolkit. As always, you can contact me by email, mobile. You can pick up my books on Amazon. And of course, you know my YouTube channel because you're watching this on it. So I thank you once again. As always, we don't want to exit that 25 minutes each time. That's why we have broken this marketing into part 1 and part 2. So you don't have to sit in one go and listen. Thank you again for listening to me. I look forward for my next session. Thank you.